segment today. We have District 4 County Commissioner Stephen McCutcheon with us, and we were talking about a number of different issues. One of the stories that was in the news, Stephen, I don't know if you heard much of it, can another county sue another county to get rid of a county commissioner? I thought that was something that the voters in that county had made a decision on. I was hearing that story about how they're trying to remove Coy Griffin over in Otero County, and that, to me, that doesn't sound right.
No, that doesn't sound right to me either. I think that's kind of up to the voters who they want to have represent them. But I don't know the laws, but that sounds odd to me.
Yeah, I mean, I would think the people in District 4, Eddy County, would have a say-so as to who represents them, and not some lawsuit from another part of the state. That just seems... I mean, if that happens, maybe we could come up with some lawsuits.
well, you know, we would have to be extremely careful about opening that Pandora's box. I mean, we wouldn't want anybody, you know, coming in and telling us, you know, who we can have represent us in, you know, in Santa Fe, Washington, or its county, or, you know, school boards or anything like that. So,
exactly.
Well, that seems like a real slippery slope to go down right there.
Yeah. I hope that gets tossed or thrown out or something like that, whatever that is. Hey, let's talk about road construction. I know that's one of the biggest budget items and project items that the county commissioners deal with, because we have so many roads in Eddy County, and one of the major projects I know being worked on is the loops around Carlsbad. Can you kind of give us an update on how those projects are coming along?
Sure. Yeah, so, you know, the commission's priority has been for the last 4 years roads, public safety. And those really go hand in hand, right? The better roads we have, the more public safety we have. Well, you know, Carlsbad, we're sitting here in the middle of the day, and we're getting wind towers coming through town, and then, you know, there's a lot of people from the north end of the county coming to the south end of the county working on, you know, 128 or south on 285, and we just have not been able to transport those people efficiently. I mean, if anybody came through Carlsbad last night and tried to go by Walmart, shoot, you were backed up for a long time. So, you know, when I was elected, I said, hey, this is really what we want to do, and it's not just me, it's been an effort of the county commission and the county for the last 4 years to get something going on these bypasses. So we've got, you know, Wes Hooper's been working on the east bypass, and then we're still working on a kind of a new cut across the river there on that east bypass. But Wes has got a couple of new phases ready to go, and those will start construction here in the next few weeks, and now you'll be able to come from Artesian, take the Whip bypass, and then have a new road clear over to 31. And the state is redoing 31 and 128 intersection. So we're going to really increase the safety and traffic flow across Dead Cow Road or U.S. Refinery Road. And maybe we can give it a name that's not Dead Cow Road anymore if we're able to kind of fix it up.
Well,
good, so
I have an idea. It could be the Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham bypass loop.
Yeah, hey, you'll be super popular if you coin that. You know, especially down here. So, you know what's interesting, how they do math. Not to get too much off on the governor, but
I know
she was down not too long ago to. Do you regret opening this box now? Shall we go down this rabbit hole for just a minute?
I opened the door. You're welcome to walk through if you like. If not, we'll go someplace else. But I know she named the Brinewell Recovery Project after herself, which I'm sure was very well appreciated. But you were looking for if you don't want to call it Dead Cow, maybe you could
Well, so yeah, Dead Cow. So let's talk about the little Brinewell.
Let's do that. Yeah. Okay.
The first engineer's estimate on this brine well was $43 million, and they got money from Eddy County, they got money from the city of Carlsbad, the state of New Mexico chipped in a whole bunch. That's the initial, hey, this is what we're going to spend is $43 million, which, by the way, we could have taken some roustabouts with their pants tucked in their boots and done it for probably $5 million, but regardless.
Right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We've got skilled people that know how to do stuff down here, but Santa Fe doesn't believe that, so
I know.
they have to go hire these people would charge pile money. So anyway, $43 million is the deal. Well, we go to the not ribbon cutting, whatever it was, the closeout meeting or whatever that the governor named it after herself. Hey, Governor Lujan Grisham has now invested X number of dollars in your community.
Right.
To better the lives of citizens, whatever the heck it is. So, anyways, the initial estimate's $43 million. Then they come back to us and they say, hey, we need, a little bit more money here, yada, yada. So anyways, the, commissions and cities approved a little bit more money here and there. Then the estimate went from $43 million to $65 million. The state chipped in a bunch more money and this, that, and the other. And it goes to $65 million. Well, they ended up only spending $62 million. So the whole meeting was about how it was $3 million under budget. And I'm going, how is this $3 million under budget? Because we started out at 43 and ended up at 62. In my mind, that's 19 over.
That's right.
But in the governor's mind, heck, we're $3 million under budget because we just changed the budget to 65 and only spent 62. So It's really funny how math works. So it's probably appropriate that the brine well is named after the governor just because of the budgetary flaws in how the math was calculated.
Was that were you at the meeting where that sign was unveiled? And did you see when that happened? I was always been kind of curious as the reactions of people that have been working on this project, because I think the initial project started before she was governor, if I'm not mistaken.
It did, yes, sir.
Yeah, so
it's been in the works for a
long time, and so that had to be quite a moment there. But let's get back to the West Loop though, and how that process is going. As these loops are being created, are there any bridges that are going to have to be built? Because you talk to anybody that's in construction, and they'll tell you how expensive a bridge is to make under today's standards, and so. How much of that is being factored in as you create these loops around Carlsbad?
So, water is, there's three things that are bad for roads, and it's water, right? So the bridges and the underpass, box culverts are really they're really critical to the designing of a project and having it last a long time. That we're dealing with that in Carlsbad right now at the Green Street Bridge. They came and did a bridge inspection and shut it down almost immediately. It was crumbling and falling apart, and so we can talk about that in a minute. But there has been significant effort placed on designing these bridges.
Well, I think did we lose you, Stephen? Or are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now. Right after you mentioned the Green Street thing, the phone call kind of went crazy there. So if you want to pick up from there.
Oh, okay. We can talk about the Green Street thing here.
Well, you're kind of breaking up pretty bad there. It's hard to hear what you're saying. I'm not sure if you're in motion or.
No, I'm just sitting in my office. Normally, really good service. So
no, we were talking about we were talking about the governor. That's what happened. Well, let's talk about the Green Street project. Is the county going to be involved with this, or is this strictly the city, or how intertwined is this project going to wind up being?
No, this is a state project, and also has a lot to do with the city and BNSF.
Yeah.
And so what has happened is the state is not allowed to reroute traffic on anything other than a state road. So as you're coming into Carlsbad, they've got to reroute it around 200, which is the George Shoup Relief. And really we would like to see something go through Laherda, and obviously people can take the George Shoup Relief to kind of get around it. But the biggest thing that we would like to have is to see both lanes opened up on the south side of the bridge and keep it open. But I know there's been some meetings with the BNSF and the city, and that's really the holdup, right? Is there's no arm or protection it would be on the westbound traffic if we jump them over and cross them, cross them right there. So I know that there's been some meetings with the city and the BNSF, and we're hoping that we can get something done and maybe put some temporary arms in there or something like that, because it's just, it's sending traffic a long ways the other way. And
so when you say
unfortunately, rivers are
when you say the arms, are we talking about the signals from on the railroad crossing? Is that where we're talking about?
Correct. There's some state statutes on main arterial roads that they have to be protected in a certain way. They can't just be a non-protected crossing. And
right.
There's a few state statutes there. So that's kind of what's got that held up is, man, we can't just jump down to one lane and kick everybody over on the south side of the bridge and shoot them back and forth across because of the railroad being right there. So we're hoping that we get something worked out pretty quick, but the county's really not involved in that.
Right.
That's mainly the city. So if there was something that we could do, we most certainly would. But I know that Mayor Janway and John Lower, they're working on it. So
yeah,
we're hoping we get to be in SF to kind of do something.
Yeah, it's like, hey, can y'all move this signal about 40 feet this way? And I know it's not that simple. I understand it's not that simple, but you wonder why it's not feasible to do something like that. Or maybe that's one of the things they're thinking about. So,
yeah, I don't know. They have those temporary DOT signs or DOT lights all over the place that aren't manned, and things like that. But, the thing is, Gene, is you and I guess, are not railroad engineers, so we don't know what's going on. And we're hoping that the guys in these meetings are asking all the right questions. And and we're assuming that BNSF is doing everything in their power to keep access in there. So that's what we're hoping.
Yeah.
And, because it's going to be a long project. I mean, this is not a quick in and out project. It's an 8-10 month project. So
yeah. Well, that's interesting. So anyway, just to kind of finish up with the loop projects that the county's working on. Have you got kind of a timetable that's been presented to you, and when you hope some of these different phases will get underway? So
right now we're waiting on some SHPO and some stuff from the BLM. We've got a great BLM office in Carlsbad. We've got Jim Stovall there in Roswell. He's just a big help and a big proponent of getting things done. And Ty Bryson and Cody and all these good. We've got a great BLM office, but that's where we kind of have a little bit of the holdup, and it's really out of the local guys' hands. We've got to get some SHPO approvals and stuff like that in order to complete one section. Now, what that's done is we're kind of the weather gun here. So, if we'd have had those approvals at the beginning of August, we would have been able to have that loop completed by December because we're constrained with weather and chip sealing and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got one little section that we're kind of waiting for some approvals to get cleared up so that we can start. The problem is if it runs much longer, we won't have enough time to prepare the subsurface or prepare the subgrade and get everything chipped and down before it gets too cold to do so. So we're really hoping, we've been in contact with these guys, like I said, Jim Stovall and Ty and Cody. They've been working really hard trying to get everything done and to us, but it's kind of out of their hands. So as soon as we can get some stuff approved, then it's great guns. Like, we're just sitting on go right now, and we're hoping to have that project done in December. But if we don't get it done in the next month, it's probably going to go into next spring.
Sure.
But we're hoping it'll be a huge benefit to everybody coming through Carlsbad, north end of the county coming south, get a lot of the big heavy trucks out of the center of town, and hopefully it'll improve safety and quality of life for everybody in Eddy County. So.
Excellent. Stephen, we're at the end of the hour. Is there anything else you want to mention before we run out of time for this segment?
No, I think everything's going good. We appreciate all the input from Eddy County and appreciate what you do, Gene. And if anybody's got any questions, we hope that you feel Eddy County's transparent and spending your money as well. And if that's not the case, then please contact us.
Excellent. Stephen McCutcheon, District 4 County Commissioner, thanks so much for your time, and look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Thank you, Gene. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks a lot. That's going to wrap up our